Good morning, everybody. Me and my wife are sitting here in the laundromat and doing our laundry, and I decided to read John chapter 8. And when I was doing so, I had a revelation. I had something. I read it a bunch of times, discussed it many times, heard preachers discuss it many times. But there's one thing that I saw. So I'm going to share my revelation that the Holy Spirit gave me, and I hope it blesses somebody else. So I believe this will be a short video unless I continue talking, which I have a tendency to do it. Here we go. John chapter 8. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Now early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery. When they had set her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act." Now, Moses in the law, commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear them. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, "He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first." And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest, even to the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, "Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you?" Jesus said, verse 11, she said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Then Jesus spoke to them, the rest of us, again saying, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life." So this is what I seen today for the very first time. Not once did Jesus stoop down and write in the sand, in the ground, but twice. He did it a second time. And it was the second time that those paid attention to him, to what he was writing. So in other Bible discussions and of this verse and behind the pulpit, I've heard it many times. And my focus, I don't know if it was you or just me, but my focus was that it was only one time. He stooped down and wrote in the ground and said, "Those without sin cast the first stone." Well, all of us are sinners, Christians and non-believers alike. We're all sinners. I mean, I can't even tie my shoes without Jesus. Come on. I can't even merge into traffic without Jesus. I would forget to breathe if it wasn't for Jesus. But again, I just want to get to this point. We were, especially me, was focused on what was he writing? Was he writing their names? Did he draw a cross? Was he just doodling? And I know everything that Jesus does is for a purpose, so he wasn't doodling. Was it the names? The first person that walked away, who said it was the oldest, was that the one that he was caught in the act with that woman? Was the oldest that walked away first, was he the one that caught the person in adultery? So, I mean, so many other discussions. And again, I just want to say, the word of Jesus Christ is alive. The words in the Bible are not meaningless. It's not like just doodling on some dirt. But what we need to do, myself, I'll say me, I'll use I statements. What I need to do is pay attention to what God is doing. Not so much what he's telling me. Not so much, though that's important, very important. But we need to pay attention to what the Lord is doing. because everything that happens in our life is for a purpose. Walk in the light, my family. God bless you.